The Brazilian Grand Prix was exactly the race that all Mercedes fans were looking for this season. The team scored a double podium, with Russell taking his first ever F1 win, followed by Hamilton in second place. So sit back as we tell you how Russell escaped a DNF during the race, as well as Toto Wolff's utter disbelief at what has happened with FTX. First up, Wolff explains how Russell escaped DNF during Brazil GP. Toto Wolff said that George Russell's car, which won the race, had sprung a water leak during the Brazilian Grand Prix. With a careful drive at Interlagos, Russell turned his sprint win into his first F1 Grand Prix win. The Briton beat his teammate Lewis Hamilton at the last minute to give Mercedes its first win of the 2022 season. But Mercedes Team Principal Wolff has talked about his worries about Russell's car during the race. The 50-year-old later said that Russell almost had more F1 trouble when a problem with his Mercedes W13 arose in the middle of the race, but Mercedes didn't tell Russell about it. Wolff confirmed, "We had a water leak in the car the whole race, and it wasn't clear if we could make it to the end." What's more, the former racer later confirmed that the team talked about it over the intercom and decided to let Russell drive until the end, even though he didn't have any water, just to finish the race. A Mercedes representative confirmed that the team was more worried about 4 or 5 laps to go, but the leak didn't cause any problems. Moving on, George Russell breaks down in tears as Mercedes driver wins first F1 race. Don't take anything away from the 24-year-old from Kings Lynn. When he won the race in Sao Paulo, he was the definition of cool. Russell, who won the 24-lap sprint race the day before, used his pole position to win the race. Hamilton, whose rival Max Verstappen he crashed into, came in second. The driver said after the race that his feelings were all over the place, and he thanked the whole Mercedes team for making this moment possible. He said that he felt in charge of the race the whole time, and that Lewis was the only one who could beat him because he was so fast. Lewis put pressure on Russell, but in the end, Russell won. He said that during the in-lap, he was reminded of when he was younger and started going karting with his parents. Perhaps that's the reason he couldn't hold his tears back after the race. Hamilton was quick to praise his Mercedes teammate after Brazil made him an honorary citizen. He told George how great his driving was and how great the race was as a whole. He also made it clear that his fellow driver had every right to win. He also thanked his team, just like Russell did, by saying that he's very proud of everyone in the factory and on the ground. This season, everyone in the Mercedes camp worked very hard to get a 1-2 finish, so it's safe to say that this double podium was a great reward for everyone.
I think when I crossed the line, so many emotions came flooding out.
What's more, Hamilton says relationship with Russell won't be a problem for Mercedes in 2023. Lewis is sure that he and teammate George Russell will be able to keep working well together next season, even if Mercedes is back in the running for the championship. Russell, who's just 24, has done well in his first season with Mercedes. On Sunday in Sao Paulo, he won his first Grand Prix and the team's first of the 2022 season. This put him 25 points ahead of Hamilton in the World Championship, with only the season finale in Abu Dhabi left. But Mercedes hasn't been in the running for race wins very often, and they've spent most of the season trying to catch up to Constructors champions Red Bull. This has kept things calm and kept team principal Toto Wolff from having to deal with any difficult situations. Before finishing second to Russell in Brazil, Hamilton said, "I'm a lot older and I've been with the team for a long time." He also said that the two of them will be able to handle any problems they face in the next season because they've already been through so much together. Many people will be closely monitoring their relationship next season when Mercedes is hopefully a title contender. Hamilton also said that Russell's first season with the team has been impressive, but that it was super easy for him to fit in because he's been a part of the Mercedes team for a long time, even when he was with Williams for 3 years.
I'm just glad it's over. Glad it's over. It's definitely been one that's been testing for the spirit and for everyone in the team, but I'm glad we got through it.
If the Brit doesn't win in Abu Dhabi, it'll be the first time in his F1 career that he ends a season without a win.
Everyone worked so hard all year long, and this has been a dream for us all. So huge congratulations to George, and I'm just grateful I could get back.
Next up, Wolff keeps his feet on the ground after Brazil win. Toto has said that the recent performance of his Mercedes team, which included a 1-2 finish at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, is a good sign for the team's future. Still, he doesn't think the team still has major work to do before they can be real frontrunners again. Mercedes had won 8 straight Constructors' World titles going into the 2022 season, but they fell behind Red Bull and Ferrari in the standings. Not to mention, the technical rules were changed, which led to a long season of testing and car development. After making steady progress that led to consistent podium finishes, the W13 got a new set of updates at the recent United States GP. What's more, this brings them another step forward in performance and a 1-2 finish, with first-time winner George Russell in the lead. Wolff said that no one at Mercedes would say they have everything under control until the last detail. Until then, it's just a work in progress. That's not all. The executive says that the team has a long way to go before it can think about the days when they totally dominated. Recent optimism and Mercedes' performance advantage at Interlagos are both massive signs. He also thinks that the season-ending race at Abu Dhabi's Yas Marina circuit will show some of the W13's remaining flaws. This will make it even harder for Mercedes to make up the 19-point gap to Ferrari in the race for P2 in the constructors' standings. Besides all this, it's been a remarkable comeback for Mercedes this season as they started off on a really bad note. Let's also look at how Russell's still the same person after maiden F1 win. So, Russell brushed off claims that winning his first F1 race has changed him. He'll be back in action in Abu Dhabi after winning in Sao Paulo, but he admits that his confidence and the morale of his Mercedes team are now through the roof. At the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, Russell led home teammate Hamilton in a Mercedes 1-2. This was the Silver Arrow's return to the top step after a hard season of trying to figure out and improve their W13. When asked if he'll be a different driver by the end of the season, Russell said he didn't think so. He also said that he has always thought he could win and that he can become the world champion. What's more, the 24-year-old will go into the next race with the same passion and hunger that he's shown in other races this season. And lastly, Wolff is in utter disbelief at what happened with FTX. Mercedes was able to celebrate George Russell's first Formula One win and the team's first win of 2022 at the Brazilian Grand Prix. But the Germans had to get rid of a sponsor before the weekend. The team took off all FTX logos from the W13 and other assets after the crypto company filed for bankruptcy after the collapse of the crypto exchange. CEO Wolff is a big fan of cryptocurrencies, so he was completely shocked when the company based in the Bahamas filed for bankruptcy. He had previously thought that FTX was one of the most credible and solid companies in the crypto industry. The company announced their decision after many customers pulled their assets, leaving the site with no other choice. Even though Mercedes' partnership hasn't officially ended, it's been put on hold, so all FTX logos have been taken down. Wolff wasn't at the Brazilian GP when all of this happened, but he did say a few words about how upset he is for the company.
Yeah, I think it's how our mind works. It's almost protecting ourselves from feeling the own mediocrity.
The head of the Mercedes team has asked for more rules to be put in place to stop these kinds of things from happening. This is especially important now as crypto has dropped everywhere. The whole thing's happening at a time when both the teams and the sport are getting more and more involved with crypto. Crypto.com sponsored the Miami Grand Prix and is now working with Aston Martin. It's safe to say that the sport will be more careful with its connections to crypto going forward. That's a wrap for this video. How do you think Mercedes will perform in the season's last race at Abu Dhabi?
Sainz on Lewis Hamilton. Sainz just squeezes Hamilton, who goes over the rumble strip and launches into the air.
Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see ya in the next one.